Shaping Our Healthier Future debate, in your literature you say, do we agree with your vision and strategy? Part of Imperial's vision and strategy is to downgrade Charing Cross and lose our blue light service there, so it's entirely legitimate for people to come here and say, actually, we don't agree with that part of the strategy.
Yes.
A lot of us, the reason that we don't agree with it is not because we disagree with centralising expertise and specialism when it's necessary, it's because we have grave doubts about how our local health services, social service, community and primary care will cope, and we are worried that there is a kind of mismatch between Imperial's, in a way, global ambitions and actually addressing the bread and butter of local people's health needs. And two of the things that make me worry about that more during this consultation are the fact that you want to make your public constituency across Greater London. Actually, it seems to me if you want to reflect what local people want, the constituency ought to be based on your local areas, and actually by doing the Greater London thing, you're in fact diluting public accountability. The other part of that really worries me is the fact that you're only planning to have 2 local authority votes on your board, where, for example, you're planning to have 3 AHSC academic votes on your board. To me, the balance is really wrong because you've got literally millions almost of people within the local authorities that you mainly represent who need effective representation, and I think therefore you should be more cognizant of the local authority weighting. The final thing I wanted to say is you are on record, and I think I really commend you for your frankness and honesty about this, about the need to sell. I don't commend the policy, but I'm glad you're being frank about it, that you're selling off land at Charing Cross and at St Mary's to fund development. You're also on record as saying that actually the amount you're going to have to invest in Charing Cross is less than the amount you're going to make in land sales. Now, that's a worry for us at Charing Cross about where it goes. Presumably it will be going to reinvestment in St Mary's. Something that I now worry about is actually part of your investment of that capital estate will be in developing the Lindo wing and private medicine, and I'd ask you to comment on that.
We will answer that. Thank you.
Can I just answer that? Because I do answer the questions properly, and it's quite difficult to take 2 or 3 questions at a time.
Well, why don't you take notes of what people say?
We've got somebody back.
If he noted the questions, we'd have got through the meeting a lot faster.
I'm going to answer. Okay, fair enough. Maybe I should have done it differently, but I'm trying to answer the questions.
Yeah,
okay, I made a mistake.
okay.
So in terms of the points about the constituencies, those points have been made. I think they're well made. The intention on the Greater London constituency was not to stifle that. I can see how that is something that's come up before we look at that. So that may not be perfect. The point that was made about the local authority representation versus the academic health science centre representation, again, that was made very forcefully by colleagues from local authorities, and we undertook to look at that and to look at whether that balance was right. In terms of the sale proceeds, you're absolutely right. The expectation or the likelihood would be that more would be spent on the St Mary's site than would be the case on the Charing Cross site. In terms of the private wing, my intention would not be to use any of that money to fund that. My intention would be just in the same way that Guy's and St Thomas's or UCLH have a partnership with a private sector healthcare provider that they would provide the capital. So there's no there is no intention of using the monies that come from the sale of NHS assets to fund private assets. Those should be self-funding, because we need, and the plan is that all of the monies that we get from those sales will go straight into the redevelopment of NHS facilities on the various sites. That's the plan.
Well, thank you. Let's ask this.